All right, we can get on to it. This is gonna be a very, very lengthy episode, guys. How do I look? How does everything look? I'm starting super early, very, very early. I apologize, but I need to get this done before people get home, so I got enough quiet time for you guys, and we can focus on cooking it correctly. So let's get right into it and make Zharkoye. How you pronounce the Ukrainian version? Mispronounced, even though I'm full-fledged Ukrainian. So first of all, we're gonna get a different cutting board because this cutting board, I don't want to just wreck the cutting board. And so, ooh, look at this. I'm just making sure that tracking is still working. So I'm excited. Who's excited? I prefer using a cutting board for everything, especially when I'm cooking with meat, just for cleanliness and for quickness of actually like use and like cutting this all up faster. We're also going to go ahead and turn the stove up on real quick, and I want to just briefly mention to you guys, I want to do a quick sear on this, and by quick sear I mean like just burning it basically, and that's the goal. Shout out to hashtag shout out to cooking. Yes, hi Goblin Milk. Hi, welcome to the stream. I've done many of these videos. As a matter of fact, all these videos I'm doing is over 100 videos. Will be exactly the same uploads, but the short version will be less than 5 minutes long for you guys to follow along, because this is more to be interactive with you guys and more than anything. So first we want to get straight into the meat itself. Okay, I don't know what that's about. I don't know why it's like, oh, right. Straight into the meat itself, and that's the very first part that we want to do. Weird. We're gonna cut these into little cubes. Before I do that, I need to get a bowl. A little container for this, actually, is what I need. Just put the meat in its place. Now, I don't need a cameraman because, like, oh, so I'm gonna use cumin and paprika and garlic. Those are the 3 main seasonings I'll be using for this. So Ukrainian style, and these are seasonings that you don't obviously see in cooking a lot. So we're gonna incorporate a lot of them into it. 3-pound beef. I'm gonna probably use this entire thing, and I want to cut down lengthwise, right in the middle. I was hoping this would be a little bit smaller, more around 2 pounds, but we can work with 3 pounds. It's not a big deal. Now, as you guys know, when meat is cooked, it shrinks quite a bit. So we gotta keep that in mind when we're cooking with meat. So I want to keep these actually pretty thick, relatively thick. Again, we are going to be cooking it in the pot for like probably like 40-ish minutes afterwards, just to get it all going. I'm actually gonna turn the stove off real quick because it heats up really quick, and I don't want to burn the pan. Do I coat my chunks in flour? No, I actually put the I'm gonna be adding what is it? Not flour, but cornstarch and heavy cream to it to thicken the soup. So, but interesting idea. I've never coated in flour, and because we're making a broth with it, the flour is actually going to come off. So there's actually very little point to actually coating it in flour if you make a broth with it. Beef stew, usually you're not going to want to coat in any solids because again, it's going to mix in. Is my pan okay? I don't need it to bust. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna take this off. There you go. I don't need to start a fire. Not that would be possible. I guess you could start a fire that way, but I'm not about to test it, so. Oops. Go wipe that up now. This is my second time doing all these recipes. Some of these I've actually done like 3 or 4 times. Like, when I did borscht, I've done that over 6 times. That's one of my favorites. Classic, classic, classic. I did just sharpen this knife too, so that helps. Always have a sharp knife when you're cutting. Hi Spring, welcome to the stream. And we're gonna be focused on just getting this done. Because again, this is gonna take probably like a good like solid hour to almost 2 hours maybe to do. And while we're at it cooking, and again, I want to stick with traditional Ukrainian oil, which is going to be sunflower. So we are going to be using sunflower for this when we're making this. All of this stuff, I am very like OCD on keeping it fully my culture. Let the pan heat up. I know I should wash my hands. And I'm going to go ahead and get the chat on my YouTube real quick. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Oh my god. And get my live stream up on my YouTube while the pan heats up for you guys. View channel. And boom. So now I can see the live stream and I can take this to go with me. How's my day been? My day's been going great. My setup is a little bit easier to deal with, you know, easier to work with. Gimbal tracking works really, really well, and I'm excited. And so, yeah. Really, really excited, actually. I think that I have this at, like, fairly low latency. All my streams are going to be low latency. Beautiful. Works. Now, we're not going to need to season the steak before. We can with salt if we wanted to. I'm not going to do it personally. The point of this is to let it brown. And that only takes like, I don't know, 3 minutes at most. And I'm going to get something over here. And I lost track of my face. And we are going to let it brown. You should never use metal on pans, but for this case, I'm not going to be rough with it. And so, yeah. What anime do you like watching? Oh, I haven't watched anime in a while. Death Note was the last, like, anime that I watched. Like, that was the last anime that I watched. So... I'm gonna wash my hands while we'll let the steak cook a bit. And then when it comes to cleaning the cutting board, I can put it in the sink and swap out with my other cutting board and clean my knife real quick for you guys too. So kind of all in one. Ooh, oh, please, please. I hate paper towels sometimes. They don't cooperate as you wish. There's more anime now. Yeah, I get there's more anime. I get it. Let me use this because it's faster. We don't want to fully cook the steak. That's one thing we don't want. This is meant to be stewed for like a good like 2 or 3 hours. Nice searing on this would be perfectly fine for your steak. So I should turn this on max, to be honest. Because while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the big pot for you guys because we want to use the big pot to cook. This pot I got like several years ago, and I'm like, for that purpose. Now, I have to think about like how much it was, how much wire I needed. I forgot. Oh no. We're gonna go with several cups. Now, what I want to do is cut the recipe in half, but we're gonna be adding a lot more meat to this. And yeah. Bored. I don't know what to do right now. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Spring. Now again, we want this to get to boiling. So that's 6 cups. And the audio quality should sound beautiful, by the way. There should be 0 issue with audio. There's 8 cups. I think I'm gonna do like 12 cups, which is like what? 6 pints? Or how many pints is that? And so yeah. About no, we'll double that. That doesn't seem enough. I'm gonna take this meat off the stove actually because it's done. Again, we don't want this to overcook. We just want a nice sear. This is gonna go kind of fast when we do this. And yeah. I haven't done like a lot of these live stream cooking before, but it'll be interesting in terms of the outcome. I am going to be modifying this a little bit by adding cabbage because I love cabbage. One of my favorites. And that's 16 cups. Hello, Robert. We'll poke my team. Alright, so I'm just going to dump all this in here. Ooh, that was dangerous. And we are going to turn this off. And like, put it in here actually real quick. Bring this real quick. Let's go down. Alright, next step is we're going to go ahead and clean the get rid of the cutting board, clean the knives. So it's one less thing we got to do later. So I'd rather not work with contaminated meat. Now I know technically you're fine to work with contaminated meat with knives, and since all it's going to be boiled anyway, it really does not matter in the end. Food safety wise, all of it is going to be boiled, so you're not cross-contaminating anything since it's all going to be cooked past 212 degrees. Cross-contamination only can occur with cooked and raw stuff, not cooked and being cooked. If that thing is being cooked, then it's impossible. Yeah, I had a interesting discussion with one of my workers at work, and the district manager, can you believe this, was like, yeah, we need to put tops on these because even although the products are all cooked, you can't physically cross-contaminate them. That's not how it works. Cross-contamination is only due to raw material touching the non-raw material. That's what it means. But yeah, whatever. So we're gonna let this soak. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and technically I should wash the meat first, but that's a whole process. It makes the wire look clearer. Now I'm gonna add a little bouillon to this real quick while that's cooking. I'm also gonna throw this away because I don't want to have, you know, steak juices on here. And yeah, BRB. Well, I'm still on here, but like, you know, off camera wise. Ooh, it's still tracking me. Nice. God, it works beautiful. Hey Robert, welcome to the stream. I think I already said hi to you, Robert. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the cabbage next. Ooh, please. Because cabbage actually takes quite a while to... No, you're fine, Enigma. You're good. Cabbage actually takes quite a while to actually like soften in the beef stew. And so we'll just cut around the core and get straight to actually putting the cabbage in. So there is an order to the method when we're doing this stuff. It's a huge, huge order. Huge order. It don't need to be exactly cutting cabbage. But we are going to move this over. I love it how I don't have to do anything now with my camera and be like, yeah, it works 100% of the time. Or 90% of the time. Because it just works. And yeah, I'm going to actually turn this down to simmer. Probably around 7 or 8. And let that simmer for a little bit higher than normal, just because the whole point of this is so get more flavor quicker. And yeah, now on with part 2 of this, which is adding the beef bouillon broth. Now I don't want to add too much because again, most of the flavor will be coming from the meat itself with salt and cumin and dill and garlic. So not too much we're gonna be adding here. Maybe like 1 spoonful of this, and that'll be it. I just let that mix in, add that to the pot, and that's all we really want. That'll give us just enough to have a little bit more flavor added. Again, the primary flavor profiles we want is cumin and paprika involved in this. If we don't have those flavor profiles in there, then it's kind of pointless to be doing these additives in the first place. There's kind of is the smell feature, but it's expensive. Wait, what? What are we talking about? I'm confused. Next thing we want to do is get this on, saute the onions and the garlic, and that will be the next step. But first, let's dice up some onions. Lovely onions. Off. Make it flat. I'm gonna just do it this way. Don't need to do it exact. I'm not doing this professionally, but you know, generally speaking, I just like to do it this way. And then we're gonna take the sticker off real quick, because yeah, that would be good. I don't want the sticker on. Fine slices of onion. Realistically, if you want to make these like chunks, big chunks, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with making these giant chunks. I have my other phone over there, so I don't have to worry about like the chat. So I have my laptop here. I've caught myself live stream before. I just haven't shown it. This is not that much I do with myself. So onions. I like to do it this way. I know there's a better way of dicing up onions. I know, Gordon Ramsay style, but like I like to do it this way. There's no one says there's a correct way of cooking. There isn't. You're gonna cook how you feel and use your soul and experiment with it. That's how I like looking at it. Now this is a bigger onion than what we work with at our job. So first thing I want to do is get up. All right, I'm gonna get the bowl again and put the bowl in here again. Yes, I get this has steak, but I shall get a bigger one. The reality, as I said, the big reality is you can actually, if you're as long as you're cooking it to the proper temperature for over a long period of time, cross contamination will never happen. So, wait, hey, Likey, are you going to get the Pokemon Legends Z8 and stream it later? Probably didn't ask that before. No, I probably won't because that's a Nintendo Switch product and I don't support Nintendo Switch or Nintendo in general. As much as I would love to, I'm not going to support that fucked up company in general, so that would be wrong. They're digging their holes too deep for me to even give a crap. And so, and as far as streaming it, Nintendo will sue me if I do that. You can't stream without Nintendo now suing you for streaming their content and promoting their content. It's a whole thing. I want to see if I have garlic. I got grounded up like fresh garlic, but I want to see if I have some in here left. I don't. Okay, I am so glad I got that. Oh, nope, I do. I'm gonna use all this. I'm gonna use this first. We'll keep this closed. I am gonna go ahead and mince this garlic because this is not minced. It's like diced. So at least they use the proper terminology and they diced it. So we are gonna go ahead and mince it. Mincing is pretty fun, actually. It's relaxing. A lot of work, but like, not that difficult. Oh, I need to get the bag out of the way. There we go. Can you see better? Can you see better? So sorry about that. As I mentioned, mincing is fun. You all should learn mince. Why you should subscribe? Hello, welcome to the stream. This should still be fine to use. I actually added a lot of steak, so I may be making a giant version of this too anyway, so keep that in mind. I just prefer to use all the meat up at once because, well, meat is only good once you open it, then it's like goes downhill in terms of taste and what you can use it for. If you have old meat, you can actually use it for stew still. I wouldn't use it if it starts going gray, but if it turns a little bit darker, it's still fine. Most people, when they do stew meat anyway, they do it fully cooked. It's actually, I have been able to do it one time in my entire life where I made it perfectly medium rare. It is really, really difficult. I mean, like, y'all end up making a medium rare stew? Let me know how you do it. I have yet to figure that out. I got lucky when I did that. That was incredible taste. One of the ways you could probably actually do that is actually by literally cutting it in like an inch chunks and searing it one side and then stewing it in low medium heat for like an hour, and then that should give you the medium rare meat. Because the inside will be raw. And I'm saying low medium by like not even boiling. What you're doing is you wanting the meat to like cook super slow, like crock pot. Even crock pot goes up too high, but I guess it's doable. Now, what we want to focus on first is we want to put in onions first. Never put in garlic. Garlic will brown really quickly, and you'll fuck up the whole sauteing process. Onions in first, and then garlic. Always. Please don't just put onions and garlic together. You'll burn the hell out of garlic, and then you just wasted garlic. Even though garlic is really cheap. Nothing is cheap nowadays, but you know, you get the gist. This is my newer pot, so I like using this. I may get a new one eventually, but not this year. It may be in 2025, I mean 2026, but no, you know, it works. When you get the nice ones, you know, spend like a solid like $200 on one pan. I have a giant pan, and like I got it for like a reason. I just don't use it. Actually, the giant pan would be perfect for making like what I did with the steak, and work better with that way. But just So this oil, butter, I'm gonna use oil, and we're gonna proceed on to doing that. Cabbage is in, looking nice. It's simmering. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit more, and we're gonna do a dip test real quick to make sure that I have enough water in the first place, because if I don't have enough water, oh, we have plenty. Oh, we have plenty. Perfect. Perfect amount. 16 cups of water is what you need for this. Probably a little bit less. Yeah, it works. I'm actually gonna go ahead and like do this and like pull this out of the way, because raw, I don't want to contaminate. Rather not deal with that, even though it's not how it works. On I want to do this on low simmer, saute style, so probably on 5 medium. I'm gonna add this oil in and let it heat up. You actually don't need to let it heat up. Just gonna put it in, but yeah, you should. We can actually start adding salt here, but realistically, what we want to do is add salt into pan real quick. So I'm just gonna salt this. I don't know how much salt you need, but cook as you feel. Cook by feeling, guys. Cook by feeling. Okay, I'm just turn it down. It's too much. So cook as you feel. You know. It's too much. Hello. Oh, I already said hi to. Hello. For forgetting. And if you want to add more salt, you can. This is a pretty big portion. While we let that heat up, we are going to go ahead and put all this in the trash in the pan, and you know, do all sorts of cleaning up as we go, because that's always important to do, so it's less of a mess for later when you do clean up. Just gonna turn this up to like 7. I'm now gonna go ahead and actually put the garlic in this pan container, so we have that to go. Then that will be all set to go. The other thing I want to do is make tomatoes paste, and the trick to that is basically using raw heat, and that's going to take like about 15 minutes. Again, no rush, because we want to allow time to let this cook over time and make it super tender. So we're allowing like, you know, 10 minutes for this, 2 or 3 minutes for the garlic to brown, about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes for the tomato, and by the time we get to that, we should be able to start putting stuff in here. And then once we've added tomatoes, we can start working on potatoes and adding the potatoes in, and the cumin, and the dill, and the paprika. That's kind of the order I want to do it here, because if we have an order, it makes it a little bit easier for us to work with and focus on like prepping always as we go. So we're not really wasting any time by doing this. You know, we're kind of moving as we do stuff, and I learned that a lot in cooking. And you know what? People at restaurants suck at that. They really, really suck. I mean, people are just terrible at it. I mean, really, really, really bad. I want to actually scoop some of this out because I don't like how this looks. I kind of want to just get rid of all this. I'm actually going to do this real quick. I'm getting rid of like the top ugly part. Kind of blend this, getting rid of the nasty parts that I don't want to keep. And making it look prettier. I forget what it's called, the top part, but like I want to make it look somewhat pretty. Hopefully mixing it up will make it help. Go! This is stuff that I'm trying to get rid of, is this yucky stuff. So the reason, one of the methods that you can actually do is like cook your meat, saute your meat, wash your meat, like do it this way and get clean water. We may actually do that, just have a nice clean pan of water and add, you know, all the other stuff later. Because this is ugly. I don't like how it looks. It's too dark. It's got too much chunks in here, and I just don't like it. So I may siphon out the water and get fresh, new 16 ounce of water, just so it's clean. We're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Make this nice and clear water for it to work with. Add an extra step. Not a big deal. I'm gonna get my little siphon tool. I actually have this exact purpose for it. So just take this, and while that goes, move this over here, move this out of the way, put this in place, put this out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of the ugly water, because this is no bueno. This is really, really ugly. So I don't like that. All right. Now, we have a nice clean pan. I'm just going to drain this out and get rid of the ugly water. And we'll start fresh. We'll start fresh with a nice clean water. That will be super, super clear by the end. And the reason we want this a little bit clearer than we have now is because, well, we want to be able to see everything inside here. If it's dirty and we don't take out whatever is left over here, then ew. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out. We are going to go ahead and fill this up. Probably most of it all the way. And start from scratch. This allows us to at least like get a little bit clearer in terms of like what we want here. Multitasking, my expertise. So really, really good at this. So we're gonna start cleaning. This is about what we want. About that much, and we'll put the water in. And start from scratch. About about 40% of the pan is what we want, which is what we'll reach. So the way you can do this is toss in the back and like hit the back of the pan to let like actually like saute the onions this way. Really, really cool trick. It works. And so, yeah. Now we've pretty much cleared this and made this a much cleaner water. Again, what I'm going to do is add a little bit more bouillon. I could have added bouillon later, but I'm going to add it in 1 spoonful. Now this is going to be super, super clear. This isn't going to be anywhere near dirty. We essentially, what we did in a lot of Asian cultures, they like to, especially in like Japanese cultures or Korean cultures, they like to work with clear soup styles. So it just makes it look nicer. We're not really losing flavor. It is going to get a little bit darker because you still got that meat cooking. And the reason it's going to turn darker is precisely for that reason. I'm waiting until these brown a bit. And yeah. Tossing them as I go. And they will be browning a little bit short here. And then once they start browning and darkening just a tad bit, hi, what's up, Enigma? Why are we having that? Then we can proceed on to do more stuff. Cool? Cool? Oh, who called me? Not right now. Don't be. Look, I am live stream. I was hitting up on your arse. If you called me on live stream, this is not a good time. I don't care if you're my president of the United States. Don't call me while I'm live stream. What's one game that is non-furry you would stream on your channel? I'm curious. Skyrim. I would do Skyrim. 100% do a whole Skyrim Let's Play game playthrough. Really, really good Skyrim. And I know everything about Skyrim. Well, almost everything, but I would do Skyrim. So. Oh, that's a legit call. Yeah. Okay. Clear that. Cool, cool, cool. Now we're letting this get a little bit darker. Soaking this up. A little bit more. And this is where I said that this is going to take probably close to like an hour to an hour and a half for you guys to do all this. It's only been 30 minutes, about 30 minutes since we've been live and started all this process. So the whole point of this is stewed meat, and we want this to be as tender as possible so it melts in your mouth, and that takes time. You can't rush this process. And there's a reason I have everything planned out like this in my head. All right, should be good on this. Nice and good. We can go ahead and put the garlic in right now, and let the garlic mix. I did a little bit more garlic than I wanted to, but whatever. Cover up the garlic with this. Same thing with the garlic. This is where a big pan would help, actually. So a giant pan would help. Now we want it to brown. We don't want it to darken. If the garlic darkens, then you fucked up the garlic. Make sure you don't overcook the garlic. Now, while this is browning, and when we put it in the actual like pan, it will actually turn like not as brown. It'll start turning more translucent, and it'll go back to its original color. But this part of sauteing is to keep the flavor inside it, and that's why we do sauteing process. Is more keeping the flavor side in. Same thing with doing steaks. Did I suggest that game before? Back to the Dawn. I don't know if you have or not, Enigma. I don't think you have. So now this is not what you should be watching when we're doing cooking content. I'm gonna be uploading a better content. Like it's gonna be the exact same video, but like professionally edited. Which I already did on my first channel with my cooking. And so I don't have to do any updates. I can just save and download. And I can download the original quality, which is like 4K, I believe. Alright, garlic is done. I'm starting to notice the flavor aromas. Now, we are going to go ahead and put this in. This will allow it about 15 minutes because I'm going to assume it'll be about 15 minutes to do the tomatoes. And it goes in here. And beautiful. Like I said, this will be a little bit different from what I do on the video recording. So, all right, let's go ahead and clean it. We're gonna move on to Ashley doing the tomato part, and yeah, with this we want a different pan. I am actually done with this pan, so I can just finish up and put it away. So I'm done using this pan. Now, tomatoes take a while to make into your puree. We want to, again, essentially melt them. Is all we're doing. Melting the tomatoes. And that's all we're going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Let this cool down for about a few minutes. I'm going to stir this. So, this is so much beautiful. So much better. The color is much clearer. And that's the one thing I did not do with my first episode when I did this live stream. I didn't make it as clear, so it's a little bit darker. But again, it's going to remain dark because of the beef itself, and so yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start washing this stuff. And less work. So there we go. Wash this. I'm actually going to be reusing this for the tomato part itself. So it'll be a good soup. I am going to go ahead and add the entire batch of tomatoes in here. Maybe not the entire, but it's going to be quite a bit. I'm going to get rid of the garlic on here because, again, I don't want garlic in my content, my soup. So, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'd rather not deal with burnt garlic. It's disgusting. You ever had burnt garlic? It is not a flavor you want. It's not terrible, but still not the most ideal thing to eat. Means you fucked up as a cook. All right. Now, if I wanted to modify this and make this borscht, I could have done it in a form of adding beets, and that would quite literally be borscht. But we're doing this in this fashion. Oh, my camera is not following. Follow. Please follow. Yep. There we go. All right. Back to normal. Hi, puppy lover. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where's my knife? Oh, my knife is over here. live. Watch me just like stab myself on live stream. Never done that before. Not gonna start either. We want to cut these actually in quarters because this will allow them to stew faster. So, quarter the tomatoes. One. Doesn't matter how you do them as long as they look like quartered. And so, faster the better. So yeah. And when I upload the video for the short part, it will not be including that. Can you do a Likey versus Jaguar? What do you mean by Likey versus Jaguar? Personally, Likey looks better. But yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. That's just my opinion. Why is this dull? God. I need to resharpen this. Oh no. Alright, I'm just gonna do that. Do one more. Making me upset. Do one more. There we go. And we're gonna just stew the tomatoes. How you stew tomatoes? Salt your tomatoes, for fuck's sake. Please, 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 please remember to salt your tomatoes. Always, always, always. It adds more flavor. We are going to need to add oil. Oil? Oil? Still a little murky. I'm not gonna empty it, but that's fine. It's clear. Add oil and add your tomatoes. Oil will help break down the tomatoes faster. Higher heat. So, oh, my face got lost track again. Never so perfect, but it works. The tomatoes go in. I'm not measuring how much oil, so don't ask me how much oil I use. I'm just guesstimating. As long as it fills the corners of your pan, you'll be fine. If you put too much, then ew. Don't. And let's get the salt in. Where's my salt? Where's my salt? I lost my salt. Oh, there's my salt. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Salt your tomatoes. Now, while we let that stew, we are going to put this on like low heat, like around 5 would be fine. While we let that stew, we're going to make our thickening agent. So again, I have cornstarch, which is right here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We are going to use 1 tablespoon to like about a few more tablespoons. I'll figure that out too. Measurement for this part, not really required. Okay, focus. There we go. The camera isn't following. Yeah, I fixed it. I fixed it. Don't panic. Don't panic, please. Don't panic. I got it following. Alright. So, when I do the actual recipe itself, it will be officially, I'll give you the exact like amount, but like about one tablespoon. And just guesstimate. What you can also do, if you want to like see how thick it gets, you can start by adding a little bit, and if it starts getting a little bit thinner, start adding a little bit more cornstarch or adding a little bit more heavy cream to your mixture. So just kind of play around with it and get a feel for what it's gonna feel like. So. So if it feels too thin, like this, too thick, add more, add more. You want it thick, but you don't want it like chunky. Like, the whole point of this is to, you know, make it a little thick. Cornstarch is technically, I think cornstarch is a better drying agent than flour. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna add another spoon. Oh. And just whisk it. Just whisk it. Whisk it well so it becomes a little bit like a slushy. So there we go. That's what we want. So it's a little bit slushy like. Again, you can add more, add less, and modify how you want. As long as you can make that slushy consistent, it's kind of what you want is a slushy consistent. Best way to stir on the bowl is actually angle the liquid and stir against the liquid. So a little bit more. And again, play around with it. We don't need more cornstarch. What we do need is a little bit more whipped heavy cream. We want it a little bit thinner than that. And then what we can do is add it. So something like that. It's a little bit thicker than your typical stuff. Were you in the military? No, I was not in the military. I'm an Eagle Scout. So that's why I have that hung up. And we're going to add it to here. We don't need to stir this in by any means. So the reason we don't need to do any stirring is because, well, the bubbling of this effect will just actually make it stir in by itself. And it should just thicken up. So no need to stir it up. Now, it works better, so if you want to actually have it thicken up, you can actually go ahead and start by adding it into the, ooh, that's strong. In the refrigerator and let it sit there for about 12 hours, and it will thicken up. If you don't do that, what will happen is it will be a little bit thick, but not really revolutionary thick. I added a little bit more than normal to it because, again, oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Because I wanted to, like, modify it based off how much I added extra water and all that stuff into it. So, modify it as we go, right? That's what we do. Modify it. Put this up. We don't need this. Put this up. We're going to throw some trash away. The tomatoes, and again, I'll be giving you guys the actual better version of the upload tomorrow because, you know, I have everything already set. It's amazing how this stuff works, right? I cook and then the next day I've already done the edits. No, I've all planned all this ahead of time. Ooh, German Shepherds or Huskies. German Shepherds and Huskies are my favorite two dogs. So, beautiful, beautiful creatures. Alright. Now, we're just waiting for this to, like, thicken. I may just... Do I have my tripod mount? Do I have it? Oh, I do. It's, like, over here. But it's not connected or anything. No, let's get it. Oh, I could connect it. I could foreseeably connect it. It'll be fine. We're gonna squish it a bit. By default, what's gonna happen is, ooh, that is beautiful color, beautiful coloration of that. We could add a little bit more bouillon. We can start the process of adding cumin and paprika in here. And I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of cumin and 1 tablespoon paprika. So it could be a little bit more than normal, but we want the flavor to hit hard on those two profiles. Maybe do 2 tablespoons of each, but we'll start with 1. Okay, 1 tablespoon. Hello, hello, hello. Follow me. Hello. There we go. So I'm gonna get the cumin paprika out, and then we can go ahead and start with that. I'm just gonna guess on this. Oh, I got cumin seeds. Oops. Probably a little bit more than that. Again, the bubbling effect does wonders. And then dill will be added very last. Dill will be added when the potatoes actually get cooked at the same time, actually. So, if you're wondering. We should, by the time we finish all this, be about an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes in. There we go. Add a little bit more of that. And we'll go and taste it as we go along. I like to guess. Cook with soul. It's important. Oh, it works out so well. So, I like your glasses. Thank you. I've had these glasses for like, God, almost 10 years. I need new glasses. Brand new glasses. I just haven't gotten there. I've kind of been lazy about it. The adding oil to this actually will also thicken up the tomato puree. So by doing that, we're just gonna stir this in, mix it up with the oil. So oil is a natural thickening agent a little bit, not a lot, but it does technically thicken it up a little bit. And if you just want the tomato puree, you can actually use a sifter and add the tomato puree itself without the tomato parts in it. But we are going to break this down to the point where the tomatoes are pretty much going to melt in. There are going to be some steps that are not going to be in the video that I do. Like, what's a VTuber? A VTuber basically uses an avatar to stream or do content with, so it's not a real life person like I am. So it's a model. Now I do actually want to keep the tomato in here. Oops, I spilled some. And yeah. Because I like the flavor of tomatoes. And I wanted to do about 1 cup of tomato, not too much. Again, we don't want to overpower the meat part of this. We want the main flavors of the cumin, paprika, garlic, and all that to kind of shine out. Adding too much of anything will destroy the entire soup. So. Add it in here. Go ahead and let that cook for about 5 minutes. Clean this up real quick clean. We don't need this anymore. Now, if you wanted to sear the potatoes, you can sear it. I personally wouldn't sear it, but you can sear potatoes. That is a thing. I'm not gonna do it. By default, potatoes lose their, don't really have much flavor to it. So no real point in actually doing any of that. And the potatoes are going to take about 15 minutes, and it should be about 1 hour and 15 minutes since we've done this, which is a good amount for the meat to cook. It's fine. I would like almost 2 hours, but roughly, It's something. Better than nothing. Just when you as I go. Just letting time pass and all that stuff, so less dishes. Um if you don't want any of this starchiness, I'm gonna keep the starchiness on purpose. Then you can cook the potatoes in a separate water and clear it, and then you'll get rid of the starchiness completely on the potatoes so you don't have starchiness in your stew. Optional, but you don't have to. The starchiness doesn't necessarily add flavor. You can actually use starchy part of it separately for baking purposes, but found that out. That's interesting. But yeah, you can use it for bacon if you want. We are going to go ahead and work on the potatoes now. I have 2 potatoes. You guys, if you guys watch my other live stream, you guys will know exactly what I got. And I'm going to do this every single week, by the way. Next week, I'm going to get an unlimited plan, so I'm not going to use all my data up. I'm not. Because I just don't want to deal with that. I'm going to wipe that thing boy real quick. Because, ew. Can you show us your cat? My cat is up. That's not my cat. It's a friend of mine, cat's actually, and they're upstairs. So, they're just upstairs. This. I'm gonna go and peel these 2. You don't need to peel them technically for this. Again, peeling is extra. But I'm going to peel it personally because it just looks nicer. Okay, I didn't take into account of, oh, found it. Found my peeler. Let's go. I always like to peel my potatoes though, it's personal. But you don't need to. If you want that little rustic added to it, you know, you can. But this also prevents you from having to wash these. You don't need to wash the potatoes if you peel them. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, kitty cat. Oh, kitty cat. Come here. Come here. I'm sorry, you can't go outside, bud. I'm sorry, you want to eat? You're not allowed to go outside. Look, kitty cat, guys. Kitty cat. Look at the kitty cat. Oh. There you go. Kitty cat! You wanted to see the cat. There you go. My friend's cat. There you go. Short. Let's get on to back to making the potatoes real quick. Where's my soap? Where's my soap? Where the soap is? I'm sorry, cat. You can't go outside. We have. Oh, there you go. There goes the cat. There goes the cat. Oh, jeez. There we go. Dragon is enabled. It works. Hi, Raymond. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? As with all food, you know, the longer you have this stew in there, the better. Technically speaking, these high-end restaurants they'll do slow cooking meat for like 6 to 12 hours minimum before they serve it, and so they take like a whole day. I mean, we're talking about these 5-star restaurants. There's one I want to go in Chicago. That's a high-end Ukrainian restaurant. It's the #1 Ukrainian restaurant in the country. So I want to go there. I really do. A little bit of dirt don't hurt anyone. I mean, a little bit of dirt can kill, but yeah, sorry. We're dicing the potatoes, dicing the potatoes, dicing potatoes. Cutting our fingers off, cutting our fingers off, cutting our fingers off, cutting our fingers off. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in a bowl. I have a bowl here. Put them in a bowl. We're gonna add the potatoes the same time we add dill. The reason is we don't want to like destroy it. We actually may add dill at the like 10-minute mark. There's a doll named Robert. What? So random. So random. I don't need to know that. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Daryl. When it comes to leafy stuff, specifically dill, bay leaves can actually soak in for several hours. They're thicker. Like dill, bay leaves, green onions, you know, stuff like that. Lettuce. You want to add them at the very end so they don't wilt. And that's just the thing. It's very, very important you add them last. Order does matter. Order does matter. Follow the order. I am doing Ukrainian beef stew. And so, just doing that as a dish. Really, really nice. There's cabbage involved. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So, yeah. And my friend called like an hour ago, and I'll call them back after I end the stream. I just want to finish the stream. I love beef stew. Yeah, so one of my favorites is not Ukrainian beef stew, but this is like probably my second favorite of any beef stew I've ever had. I've done 5 different versions of beef stew. I did my own version. I did American style version. I did Ukrainian version. I did a Korean version, which is, by the way, my number one favorite. I'm sorry, the Koreans. Ooh, their beef stew is yummy. Not the North Koreans, but the Korean, just called Korean beef stew in general. Ooh, so yummy. And I want to try different beef stews, actually. I want like Japanese beef stew I want to do. I want to do Japanese beef stew. What does that taste like? One of these days, I'll figure it out and cook Japanese beef stew. That'll be my 6th beef stew that I make. So, alright. It has been... haven't tried beef stew. Are you serious? Man, you're missing out. And technically, borscht is a form of beef stew. It's different. There's a lot of options to doing borscht. I'm gonna add that in there. And there's the starch. Oh, no. There's just that. The beef has finally released more of that stuff. Technically, I don't like, but it's fine. It's nicer looking. It is nicer looking. So now we're gonna at 7:30. In about 9 minutes, we will add the dill, and that'll be it. That'll be it. We'll let it for about 7:30. We'll add the dill. We are adding the entire batch of dill. The entire batch of dill. You know. And that would be it. Dill is so yummy. One of my favorites. I always add dill. I'm actually adding more than that. I think I have more. I'm gonna go check. I has more. Beautiful. I love dill. One of my favorites. You can't go wrong with overdoing dill. Dill is that nice hint of flavor that you are going to need for Ukrainian. Hulk. What? Hi, I'm Basic. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I'm just gonna get like rid of the big parts. I don't need to necessarily get rid of all of them, but like, you know, the big stem parts we want to get rid of. Ones are obvious. Timing is everything with cooking, and you just kind of learn over time how to do. This chat is so weird. Why is this chat so weird? I'm so confused. What happened? I'm confused. Did I miss something? Then we are going to go ahead and like mince the dill up. I added like 2 batches of dill basically, so. I'm gonna get my little container. I'm gonna put this in the dishwasher. I don't know, no need to like keep Ashley some of these dishes. My little container. I have a little container. Look how cute the container is. Look how cute. And we're gonna add the dill in here. That's it. All right. In about 6 minutes, we'll go ahead and add the dill. We could technically change the water out if we wanted to make it super clear, but we'd be losing all the flavor, and you don't want to do that. Realistically, when you want to change the water out is actually before you add everything. So the first thing you add would be your beef, and then let the beef cook for about an hour, then change the water out, and then it'd be clear. But like what I'm dealing with now, because I have all the flavor in, it would be bad. So there's not really much flavor added when you add cabbage and beef when you change in the water, so you're not really losing much of the flavor. So I'm just gonna do some cleanup real quick. And yeah, some helpful cooking tips for you guys. If you wanted that true rustic flavor, you wouldn't change the water out and you would just keep the dark flavor, but then it wouldn't look pretty and like, why? Why wouldn't you want your food to look pretty? Why? I don't get it. So, these are all the stuff that I don't need. Eh, 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 eh. Yeah. So loud. All right, about 4 minutes. Oh my God, stop talking about skibbity. Skibbity, can I add some skibbity to your segment? No, you can't. A person like, sorry, welcome to the stream. How you doing? You finished your Freddy Krueger doll. Nice, John. Welcome to the stream, John, by the way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got a brand new shirt. It's a hoodie that's coming in the mail in October, so I'm really excited about that, actually. So it's a Lichen Rock. It'll be a complete full suit of my Lichen Rock. So when I do these contents, you guys get to see my, at least the hoodie version of the Lichen Rock. So it'll look more like me naturally. So I'm excited about that. Really excited. How's everyone doing in chat? Good? You know, I'm doing great. I've been uploading stuff on TikTok. Hi, Salty. Welcome to the stream. Making Ukrainian borscht, Ukrainian beef stew. So we got about 3 minutes until we add the dill, and I'm just gonna, again, do a little bit of cleanup. So all this can go in the trash, and just to look pretty. And by the time I do all this, we'll be ready to add the dill and let it cook for about 5 more minutes. I said it'd be like, so it was 7:21 and 7:30 would be about 9 minutes. So about cooking 5 more minutes would be 14 minutes for the the potatoes to be fully softened. I have the water on rolling boil, so that kind of helps out with what we want to do. So. The beef should be nice and tender, by the way, too. So really, really nice. I like to do presentations, you know. I do. I like to do presentations when I do cooking, so it has to look nice. Oh no, the camera lost track. Oh, I just realized. Gosh. There we go. Back on track. Sorry about that. And follow camera, yeah, huh? So it's not fixed. I mean, it works. You know, it works. It's not guaranteed, but it's better than not. So, hi David, welcome to the stream. This allows me to like have my setup where I have like 4 devices. I have my lav microphone, I've got my laptop, I've got my phone, and I've got my camera. It's much more simpler. There is literally, what is it, 2 wires that I have? 2 wires? I technically have like 3 monitors. I've got my phone over there, which is one monitor. I have my live action like OBS Studio on my laptop, and I have my gimbal that has a actual camera that I can look at too. Really nice. I love it. But yeah, it's really nice. So I don't need a crewman now. I can do all the shots myself. I can, you know, feel like, you know, the cameraman is following me. You know, I have crystal clear audio quality. I also have NVIDIA AI enabled, so any background noise is reduced to like virtually none because NVIDIA has nailed their freaking audio AI. They're one of the best AI companies for like noise cancellation in the world. That's why I've been using them since they released. Have they improved on it? No. Why would they need to? Don't update your software anymore, NVIDIA, please. Just don't update it. They actually did a recent update regarding to that, so. Oh, speaking of it, dill. Add dill. So, add dill in. Let that royal boil. You know, leave that to boil and royal. Boiling boil? Boiling boil. God, I'm trying to say it correctly. And in about 5 minutes, we'll go ahead and, you know, finish it off and dish it. Everything is timed, you know. Oh, there's my other stuff I've been looking for. So, oh, there's my curry powder. Oh, wow. Some of these are old. I have dillweed in here. 2 things of dillweed. I use dillweed for something. I don't remember what, but we're going to need all those flavors. Every single one of those seasonings in there, we are going to probably end up using. So keep that in mind. We're going to be using a lot. So I have a whole army of seasonings. So my mother used to actually be a cook. You know, many years ago before she had us. And then apparently when she had us, she's like, you kids hate our cooking. And we were like, yep. And apparently she sucks at cooking. And she still sucks at cooking. So, you know, that's why she doesn't cook. And I cook. Update, but that's how we know you're liking our stuff. Bye, Puppet Lover. Thank you. Hi, Captain Pikachu. Welcome to the stream. It's got a nice flavor. Mix this up. We got about 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes actually. And then we'll just start dishing it out. I'm actually going to turn this off a bit and get all the prep going here for this dish now. All we need is to find the nice freaking bowl. That's all I need is this nice plastic bowl. If I can't find it, I'm really angry. This is my bowl that I use for like my showcase. Very special. If I can't find it, I'll just use that right now, and I can't find it. Yeah, I just use a Red Bull. It works. Fine. Red Bull works. This isn't the fancy build I want, but it works. Okay, it stopped. Not perfect, but it works. Wait, there we go. If I can find it, it'd be nice. Oh, I wonder if it's in here, huh? I can't imagine someone put it in here, actually. But I could be wrong. No, it's not. Why would it be in there? Why would that be a thing? So, I actually want to go ahead and start swapping some of this out real quick. So swap this. Swap this. My tripod comes off. Very nice. I should get another one of these so I don't have to deal with this crap. Well, careful not to like break anything. Ooh, okay, I thought I broke this. Okay, don't disengage, please. Subject loss, I don't care. I'm trying not to like disengage anything other than tripod. Like a delicate surgery, man. It's like a freaking delicate surgery. Okay, we are almost there. Ugh, I don't want to disengage the cable because if I do, then like this should just fit on like flawlessly, please. Beautiful, beautiful, bloody beautiful. Now what we can do here is what we can do here. I'll like take this tripod over here and have a nice close shot of this. And like, I just want the bowl. I just want the bowl. This is gonna be a beautiful shot. All right, it is that time now. This is fully done. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in another bowl and dish it out that way. And like, it's gonna be beautiful. It's a little bit on the orange side. Too much curry, maybe. But ooh, yummy. Where's the stupid ladle? What happened to my ladle? Oh no, we need a new ladle. Oh no! Buy a new ladle. This is gonna be beautiful. You guys will love this. Really, really beautiful. So, where is this? Where's my stupid thing? I can just use this. I'm just gonna use this and fill it up this way. Okay, this is really hot. Oh my god, this is really, really hot. Oh god. Alright, y'all ready for the beauty? Y'all ready for the beauty? Oh, is it not? Oh gosh. You got disconnected. Oh no. My tripod got disconnected. Alright, deactivate, activate. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Thank you for telling me, by the way. Are you cooking? Yes, I am. So the final showcase of this. Look how beautiful this is. Looking gorgeous. So beautiful. This is what you want. A nice rich beef stew color. Super beautiful. I just love it. So thanks for watching. Oh, this shot. This is actually looks much better. I personally think I think I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail. Wait, can I just like record? There. Thumbnail. That's a fucking thumbnail worthy. Holy crap, that's incredible. So, Ukrainian beef stew. It's a little bit on the orange side because I added probably too much cumin. And a little bit on the red side because I added a little bit too much tomatoes. But other than that, it's still lighter color because I did empty the water out and it allows me to like have a nice clearer picture. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you guys want to make this, the video will be coming out tomorrow, guys, in the morning for you guys to make this on your own. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, all.